How on a day, my beautiful and amazing people. I salute you according to your time, or depending on when at time that they listen to us. I welcome you to this beautiful day with another bongalicious information, my people. Now, well done, my people. Now, welcome. When I hear you, they hear you. Wonder shall never end, my people. No be smart, you know. I do not want to be numbered, and you are angry. Mama Rita Edochie had come to clarify issues that are moving all over the social media right now. What was Pime's crime against these people? Can any of them come out and say, this is what Pime did to them? Let them come and say it. What was this lady's crime? His crime is, I don't want to be numbered. I do not want to be numbered. I want my husband, my marriage, my kids alone. I don't want to share my family with anybody. I don't need any interference in my love story with my spouse. I just want to be with my spouse and two of us alone. Even God says, and He created them one man and a woman. God created them male and female. God didn't create them many to be together. He created them one man, one woman. And for the fact that two of you are not perfect, so that you can be loving yourselves, forgiving yourself, tolerating yourselves, living together. It is only when two of you had discovered that there is a major issue of compatibility that no matter how it works or it goes, it can never work for two of you because there's no compatibility. Then you can go separate ways instead of ending each other's life. So, but a situation where somebody else left her own home and say na your own home na in sweet pass, that is the problem. That's why whenever I see prick warriors, I became angry. Angry in the sense that somebody said her own home is not good for her, but na my own home na in sweet am. And she didn't come and beg me to be in my own home. She came to force herself to my own home. You know what it means? Forcing me to accept her. Not just telling me that I have no option than to see her in my home. After all, she had left her husband 3 years later. If she leaves her husband 3 years later, where do I want her to go? If not to my own home. Making it look like, what is this woman doing? You are so wicked. You are so I don't know how to put it. I don't even know what a word to use and qualify. Because I just wanted to play the scenario like this. You left your own home where you have stayed and had 2 kids and was taken care of very well. But you say the kind of things they are giving to you is not what you want. But rather, what I have in my own home is actually what you want. And whether I like it or not, you must be with me in that home because you have found what you want in my home. I, you know, that's why I always tell prick warriors, the reason, listen, because anybody that supports this is wicked. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter whether you're a reverend or whether you're a pastor. As long as you support that somebody should leave his own home, leave her own home, and come and destroy another person's home, that is a problem. The woman noticed and said, no, I don't want to be numbered. I don't want to be even number 0. I don't want. I just want to be myself and you be yourself. And two of us continue. And the woman said, no, I can't. If you insist that you must have another person, that is the crime she committed. And that is why the whole people are talking nonsense on social media every day against her. That is why someone who called himself a trained liar, not a lawyer actually, he's a liar, a trained liar, will sit on social media making 20 posts a day, 19 posts a day, 15 posts a day over one woman just because she said no, she doesn't want polygamy. The same person that speaks against polygamy is now the same person that is supporting polygamy in a different way just because it involves the person that didn't want to work with him. That's just that. Just because Queen May decided not to work with you, you now said polygamy, which you have spoken against before, is now a good thing. But you have been an advocate against polygamy for many, at least on social media, I know. You always tell people polygamy is bad. Even though Africa accepts it, it is the worst thing that can happen to any family. No woman, no man will like to share. No woman will like to share. And that is an abuse to any woman for the husband to accept or to propose polygamy. When you were with Queen May, you were talking so much against polygamy, giving us so many facts against polygamy. But all of a sudden, all of a man, a human being, God, all of a sudden, polygamy becomes a beautiful thing to you. Polygamy becomes a good suggestion. That the only thing is that you did not divorce the wife. Who told you? Who told you that you actually wanted to divorce the wife? Was there any issue in the marriage? You see, well, I wish all of you what you are wishing me. Simple. Go, okay, Mama Rita has come out again to explain some certain things. This is a mama di mama. The mama di mama, the youngest mama we have. Okay, it says, I don't want to be numbered and you are annoyed. I don't want to be numbered and you are angry. Here is her main reason. Mama Rita is speaking. What you are going to hear now is Mama Rita's language in my voice. Okay, so her speech in my voice. She says, here is her main reason. Polygamy has done more harm than good, not just in Nigeria, but in Africa as a whole. We must call a spade a spade. Let Mr. Ibu did not do well at all. When I know say Mr. Ibu had 5 women, people didn't even know. And Judy Austin would have been the 6th one or so, or even before the 5th one. Maybe it would have been one of the 5. But Mr. Ibu see that even though Mr. Ibu likes polygamy, but he didn't see Judy Austin fit to be in his life. So it is now no longer the issue of many wives. It is the issue of the personality, the kind of woman you are having. Judy was part of it, or was part of Mr. Ibu's life. According to information, they say Judy dated Mr. Ibu, but Mr. Ibu didn't find her worthy to be one of the wives. So when she was trying to look for a legendary actor that would take her into Nollywood, that was what she was looking for at that time. Mr. Ibu didn't do well according to Mama Rita. Mama Rita continued. He said, no matter how we try to sugarcoat polygamy or paint it as a cultural success story, it still does not change the fact that it has been one of the greatest marital errors that has jeopardized the peace, unity, and harmony of countless families. And that is very true. Very, very true. Very, very true. I totally agree with Mama here. I totally agree with Mama here. It's very true. Polygamy, is one of the greatest errors that has jeopardized the peace, unity, and harmony of a countless family in Africa. Okay, every single day I continue with Mama's voice, Mama's speech. Every single day, I keep seeing more reasons to detest and despise polygamy. It is not something I would ever wish on my worst enemy. Time and time again, life keeps presenting fresh evidence that where polygamy exists, peace is constantly under threat, while division patiently waits for its opportunity. I tell you, for those of you who have gone into polygamous family, whether you are married in or from polygamous family, you will understand what I'm saying, that competition is one of the unhealthy norms in polygamous family. Every time everybody's even sickness is a competition. If the other person is sick and they take her to hospital, you will say your own person should be sick so that you take her to hospital. Anytime the man spends money on the other side, it must spend again on this other side. If it is sick, in fact, even up to maybe when somebody buy in the family of any of them, the wife of the first wife, the second wife will like somebody to buy her own, so that the money also will spend the same equal, the same amount. There is this unhealthy competition in polygamy that you begin to ask yourself, what is wrong? And that's why you have so much out of secrecy in polygamy. This side will not, this household will not allow the other household to know actually what is happening. the kids of the first wife and the second wife or the third wife will always be hiding things that you won't even understand. And you see brothers who supposed to be brothers, who supposed to speak to each other, being in enmity just because there is something the mothers are competing. How can you expose such women on such an unhealthy competition just because you want to satisfy your own desires? Polygamy. So that what is there? Some people are finding it difficult to even manage one, not to talk of two. And that's why most polygamous men, you think that they are managing the family well. It's mostly at times the women in that family who decided to keep their peace. Recently people have discovered that peace of mind is the best gift you can give to yourself. So some people that are found themselves into that polygamy, some of them decides to be at peace with themselves and with the other person. So it's no longer an issue. That just living in peace does not mean polygamy is good. No. Ask them, many of them are depressed. Many of them have so many things bothering them, and that's very bad. Okay, let me continue with Mama's Mama's speech. He said, polygamy has been defended for generations, yet the painful outcomes continue to repeat themselves. Rivalry, jealousy, unhealthy competition, bitterness, divided loyalties, inheritance dispute, and prolonged family conflict have become familiar stories in many polygamous homes. This is it. The painful aspect of it comes when the proud polygamist is gone to the other side. Sadly, yes, now, if he goes, the house becomes a war zone. Serious war zone. When I mean war zone, I mean war zone. People buying themselves just because of nothing. Because of nothing. Quarter plot of land can wipe away a household just because they dare to step into a quarter plot, a small plot, portion of land. Wipe. But in a situation where there's no polygamy, it's not an issue. It's a very simple thing that can even be settled if conflict come out of it. But because of polygamy, it can wipe. People go diabolical. People hire assassins. So many things, bringing people to do some funny things in the family where peace and love supposed to reign. That's very bad. Okay, let's continue. The situation currently playing out in Mr. Ibu's family has become another painful reminder of how difficult such family structures can become. The public disagreement among members of his family over property and other issues are heartbreaking to watch. Why every family has its own unique circumstance. This should serve as a serious warning to those who are currently in polygamous homes or are planning to build one tomorrow. If care is not taken, today's crisis in another man's family can easily become tomorrow's reality in yours. In some cases, it may even be worse. There is absolutely no need to sugarcoat this reality at all, at all, at all. Okay, marriage was designed to be a union built on love, commitment, trust, sacrifice, and mutual understanding. Even monogamy, involving just one man and one wife, is challenging enough to sustain in today's world. If maintaining peace between two people requires patience, forgiveness, and constant effort, how much more difficult does it become when multiple spouses? Wow. Wow. This is exactly Mama Riri talking to our conscience, talking to our conscience on polygamy, because it takes an experienced person to tell you the outcome of something you have not entered into. And when the person is telling you, you may think the person is actually joking, but you don't know that the person actually is telling you the truth. You understand? You may think the person is actually joking, but you don't know that the person is telling you the truth. Marriage is designed, according to Mama, marriage is designed or was designed to be a union built on love, commitment, trust, sacrifice, mutual understanding, even monogamy. involving one man and one woman is challenging enough to sustain today's world. If maintaining peace between two people requires patience, forgiveness, constant effort, how much more difficult it becomes when multiple spouses and many competing interests are involved. Can you see it? Okay, Mama continues. Say, how can genuine peace consistently exist where affection is divided, attention is shared unequally, and kids inevitably find themselves belonging to different camps? That is the worst of polygamy. When it affects the kids become enemies to themselves when they are supposed to be brothers and sisters. This is not about condemning individuals or judging families. It is about learning from realities that continue to play out before our very eyes. A wise man learns not only from his own mistakes, but also from the experiences of others. If there is any lesson to draw from the many family disputes we continue to witness, it is that building one peaceful, united home is far better than creating multiple homes, that may one day become battlefield. Polygamy creates a battlefield. I told you, when the man is gone, the house becomes a war zone. You may not understand. Fight everywhere. In fact, nothing, you can't pick what starts it, it must surely come. The truth may be bitter, but it remains the truth. A peaceful monogamous home will always be a better legacy than a divided polygamous empire. What is happening today in Mr. Ibu's family should not merely entertain us, but should educate us. Those who refuse to learn from the mistakes of others often end up repeating them. Sincerely, I sincerely hope that if there is truly anything like reincarnation, then in his next existence, Les Mistibu will never repeat this kind of marital decision. Looking at everything unfolding today, both in Mistibu, Alex Okubo, just to mention a few, I struggle to call what happened a successful marriage. To me, this was not marriage in its true essence. It was a grievous marital error whose consequences have continued to echo even after his passing. Not every tradition deserves to be repeated, and not every practice deserves to be celebrated. Sometimes the greatest wisdom is learning from another man's experience before it becomes your own. Good morning and happy new week. Wow, this is so beautiful, so educative, so educative, so beautiful. I hope our world will listen to this woman. I hope Judy Austin and you, the Edochie, will listen. And I hope the more Gallows family struggling to push their daughters into another man's family will listen. I hope those who are struggling to support or support you and Judy will actually listen. This is actually a food for thought. Very big. Look at what is happening today in Miss Tibu's family. Look at how Regina Daniel ran away in order to have her peace before coming back. It's not about toxic marriage. It is about having option. Some men begins to treat their wives anyhow because there is another person. There's an option. Like my brother you will say, if he messes up, drop him, pick another one. You can marry 50 women in 50 days. My people, when my people say, when you never see something, say I don't see many things. But when somebody who have passed through a lot comes out to speak, he won't even have time to share his experience. He will just keep quiet and be looking at you. Because it is only those who have not seen anything that always complain they have seen much. That's why my people will tell you that half education is worse than illiterate. There are those who are half educated in this school of marriage. And when they come out and be shouting on social media, toxic marriage, those who are really in it do not talk. Those who are really suffering it, they don't talk. Some of them had walked away quietly. They don't talk. Some of them had also remained there for the reason best known to them, because some people say they don't want to allow their kids to have issues. They have decided to remain there for their kids and suffer everything, but they know what they are passing through. But you see those people that shout on social media, I do this, I do that, they have not seen anything. And that's why they will jump out and go to another man's house and come out again and go to another place and come out again and go to another place and come out. That kind of a thing. Because even the one they are complaining was nothing compared to what many people are seeing. My people not be smart, Mama Rita is drawing inference from the happenings in Miss Ibu's house now, using it to teach Judy Austin, Judy, Edochie, and their supporters that polygamy they are clamoring and clapping for and celebrating is not the best for the world. Judy should go and find out. Polygamy has never worked. Snatching person's husband never work, because one of the things that causes polygamy in our recent days is not because there are many farms for people to go and farm, because in the olden days our forefathers married the women that are of the same class, married them many because they have enough to share, they have enough to work, so there will be no property to quarrel about, because there are many lands that they even need more. Even some of those land with many wives, they still dash to other people because there are many to work on. That's why they go for polygamy, so that they can have enough hand to till the earth, to till the soil and get. So the more, even in polygamy itself, if you can work harder, you make more. So at that time, you see that they don't quarrel about anything. Even in recent times, when you go to places like Benue State and other places where you still have vast land, people are working depending on farmland, polygamy is still existing and there's no problem. I was so surprised when I was serving in Benue State as a youth corper those days, many years ago. That should be in 2006 or 2007, many years ago. When I was serving as a youth corper in Benue State, I discovered that a man will have 3 women as wives and they don't have any problem. The sons of those women is from the same pot. The 3 women he married is from the same pot or plate with the man. And it is, you know why? Because early morning everybody goes to farm. There's no competition. There are enough farm. If you want whatever you want, you have it. And you can't even finish what you have. And that is the idea of polygamy also in those days in our African tradition. But these days, why polygamy is becoming a problem is because where the occupation is shifting from farming into some other jobs, and there's no much land to farm, and bandits are already in the land. Where are you going to do the farming? So everybody is sitting in the house waiting for what the man will bring or what you yourself will bring. So you cannot be making money and the man will be using it to feed another woman with the kids. And you also cannot be, because the woman also does not have good work, or the man makes the money and shares the money. When he shares it among 3 people, it will not be enough for all the kids, all the women, and also for himself. So that is why polygamy has become a problem in our time. So, and because things are no longer the way, we need to shift to what works in our time. We don't need to follow tradition. And that's why when I see people, they will tell you our forefathers do this, they want to go back to the tradition. The tradition, the archaic method of worshiping God of our forefathers' time is what you still want to go back when things have changed. You want to stay there. I keep telling people, I personally had experience that you can never use ATR to solve any problem in Africa. Never. I tell you, go back to ATR, you go back 250 years backward, even in development. You may not understand. Because the people that are the people who want to manipulate you, manipulate our side, are the people that are propagating polygamy, propagating tradition, ATR, propagating so many other things in order to make us go back to the old time. And no matter how you look at it, there is no way in the old time. My people no be smart in so they just reach out by saying make a touch light and wait on. Like and share this video and God will bless you. If you have not subscribed to our channel, please try to do so. All our returning subscribers will say, well done, my people, now welcome. Make una have a nice day. Bye.